Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take another look at KuCoin here today. And the main reason why is just because we need to understand kind of what's going on. Ultimately, if the price is going to continue to break down or if we're going to see some recovery. Now, what we want to look at first, of course, is Bitcoin. I know I sound like a broken record here, but it's really important to know what's going on with Bitcoin because in the last 10 trading days, the price has essentially continued to make lower highs and lower lows. So you can kind of see this here, of course, on the 1 day. You got the lower lows and the lower highs just continuously occurring, right? So hypothetically, the next high will be somewhere in the range of like 49,000, and the next low should be in the realm of about 45 to 46,000. Again, that's hypothetical, of course, but just based on its price action so far, it's trending in that direction. It hasn't decided to break yet. In fact, we can see now that this support level, previous support of 47,800, is now working as a resistance level because you can see, obviously, the price action last 24 hours cannot even break that plane. Okay, so not great stuff here for Bitcoin. There's a lot of stuff, factoring in, of course. 200-day SIP moving average is still holding, but that's really the only saving grace we have for Bitcoin at this moment. I feel as if, depending on the news for tomorrow, we might see the price continue to break down. Obviously, there's a lot, up in the air for the moment, but Bitcoin is not exuding any good behavior right now. It's strictly bearish the entire time, right? So we haven't seen any type of positive momentum since November 10th. So we're talking about 5 weeks worth of just straight downward action. And in that time frame, just out of curiosity here, we're down about 33% from our highest point of about 69,000. All right, so that's kind of where we're at there for Bitcoin. And the reason why that's relevant here is, of course, KuCoin's following the exact same thing. So if you saw my video yesterday, you'll note that I kind of mentioned that it's important to dollar cost average in this case, set some limit orders as the price continues to go down. It hasn't done much of anything in the last 24 hours. As you can see, this candlestick is effectively the same as before, right? So yes, we have a little bit of up and down action here between 52 and 55, but nothing really of note, worth note, So ultimately, we don't need to really bother much about, looking at the moving averages here. It's all contingent on Bitcoin at this point. KuCoin is completely synonymous with Bitcoin, but just note also that we are seeing lower highs and lower lows at this point, and until that changes, there's not much really to understand. It's just going to continue to go lower and break down. Further note also, 58 cents would likely be the next the major resistance level now, based on the fact that the price action is below that, can't seem to hold. So if we do see the price come back up, it'll probably bounce off 58 and continue back down. That would continue, that would give us a continuation of the lower lows and lower highs. Now, to break that and to start making higher lows, if nothing else, we need this next push to be higher than the previous high, right? So we need to be about 68 or somewhere in the range of $60 or sorry, $60. That'd be nice. Maybe someday, 60 cents or higher, right? We need it to kind of break that plane in order to have some kind of momentum there. Other than that, let's go ahead and see what the volume accumulation looks like here. And, again, let's go ahead and take a look just based on the last, 3 weeks worth of trading data ever since it was at its highest point. We see the most amount of volume right here in this channel here, which is a strong resistance channel. So just say we do break 58 cents and we start trending up closer to about 66, there is going to be somewhat of a resistance level there, okay? Now keep in mind that's synonymous with Bitcoin's behavior in that sense, where we have that strong resistance level right here at about 52,300. So 52.3. That's why it's important to understand how Bitcoin is behaving, right? Because see, Bitcoin cannot seem to break that plane. It keeps trying, but it keeps getting rejected. Same thing with Crow. It will not be able to break this plane because there's a tremendous amount of volume there until we get more volume accumulation here. We're getting that, right? As we can look here, we can see that this candle is essentially getting larger. In other words, the amount of volume in this time frame is getting better. But until that average starts getting lower, we're not going to see us be able to break that resistance, okay? So again, just something to understand, this it's not necessarily a deal breaker. It could break right through that, of course, but we need to have stability from Bitcoin. The fear index needs to be much higher. In other words, we can't have so much fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market as we do right now for a coin like this to bounce back quickly. And again, it's all based on its history. It came up way too hard, way too fast. Not that that's a bad thing, but you got to understand that every coin has to correct itself eventually. And it shouldn't have corrected itself this much. But the reason why it did is because of Bitcoin's recent failures, right? So hadn't Bitcoin lost its bottom right here, we'd still probably be trending right around 66 to maybe even 75 cents, okay? So just bear that in mind. That's the important thing to understand. So again, Friendly advice, continue to dollar cost average, set your limit orders to, every 2 cents, right? So 52 cents would be next limit order, 50 cents, 48, 46, etc. That's how I have mine set up. So that way, if the price were to come back down lower, which might happen essentially tomorrow based on the news and the way things happen with that inflation, then we're going to be able to see a lower candle wick down. But how much lower is it going to go? To me personally, I don't think it's going to go much lower than 48 cents, because 48 cents for KuCoin is effectively the same level as what 42,000 for Bitcoin. Okay, and I feel as if the floor for Bitcoin is 42,000. That's just my personal opinion. I think that the price, if it were to come down any lower, 42 would essentially be the lowest point, and that's based on Fibonacci retracement levels, but also previous data as well. Okay, so just note that. So again, I think 48 cents would be a worst case scenario. Will we see a candle wick below that? Perhaps we very well might. I mean, just say we lose 10% from Bitcoin tomorrow, and we're going to see a 20% knee-jerk reaction from KuCoin, and that could cause a candle wick below 48 cents. That's why you set limit orders below that, 46 cents, 44 cents, etc. So in case you get filled and the price comes right back up, you have a nice, sweet, lower dollar cost average. Okay, that's how it works right now. That's how we got to play the game right now. We can't try to buy low and sell high. It's really all a matter of just kind of slowly adding to your position as the price comes lower. So when it recovers, you have a nice, better overall position. I know it's easier said than done. If you don't have enough money to do that, I understand that. Just kind of sit in the wayside. KuCoin will recover. It's pretty much an inevitability at this point. It's just a matter of when, right? And this week is a weird week. In fact, we've got a weird month ahead of us, even early next month as well. We got some strange news on the horizon. So a lot of things are kind of factoring in adversely for crypto, because it is very reliant on world success, or things in the world not going to hell in a handbasket. Right? So there's a lot of stuff going on. I hope you understand what I mean by that. All right, so enough rambling. That's essentially what we're looking at here. KuCoin, not much of an update in the last 24 hours. The price is going to continue to go sideways. My speculation, again, as long as Bitcoin goes sideways, right? So just pay attention to Bitcoin. Set some alerts for Bitcoin too, and see, if the price comes down to 44,000, you might want to consider adding to your position on Crow, or just, if you're using TradingView, just press Alt-A and set an alert, Go ahead and put in a value there, and then you can be reminded to go ahead and take a position. But it'd be much better to do a limit order instead. That way you can get filled when you're not even present, right? So just say you're busy and you get an alert and you can't log in into your exchange, all that time that takes. If you just get into your exchange now and add that, you'll be fine. Or use a trading bot. Those work much better, more effectively. And some of the trading bot that we use in our trading community it's basically fully automated through Telegram. So you can literally set it all on the go. So something to maybe consider for future reference. Either way, thanks again for your time. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.